guys, today on Jayemm on Car we're looking at this, which is my Lotus Elite. And it's a Lotus Elite with a V8 engine swap because V8s are cool. Now you haven't seen much of it on the channel because it keeps breaking because it is a Lotus, or some of it is a Lotus. The body shell on this, thank you, the body shell on this is a Lotus Elite. The chassis comes from a Lotus XL, and this is apparently quite a common swap. The Lotus Elite chassis rots away and the XL is better. The engine, the dash, the gearbox and most of the running gear, however, comes out of a Rover SD1, which is not Lotus, and so we can't blame Lotus for most of the problems. Biggest problem we've had with it recently is the alternator died, put a new one on, and that ate belts. And now we think we fixed that, hopefully. And it leaks, the radiator is on its way out. But it's apart from that, it's fine, and we can take it out and drive it today. So I've had it now for about 9 months. I've always wanted one of these cars, even since before I knew what it was. I just thought it was cool. And I saw one on eBay, which was described as a non-runner. And I thought, this cannot be a bad idea, and this can't possibly go wrong. So, off we went to have a look at it, picked it up, put it back on the trailer, and the non-running part of it turned out to be something incredibly minor, and we had it running the same day we brought it home. So, this is my Lotus. The colour is also not a standard Lotus colour. It's micro orange. But I think it looks really nice. And it's also been dechromed. The Lotus Elite should have chrome all the way around here, around the windscreen, around the doors. Basically, anywhere you can see black on this, it should be chrome. But I, again, quite like it. It's really quite cool. And as far as we're aware, it's totally unique. There isn't another one that looks like this that has the same swap, and particularly this horrendous bulge in the bonnet, which we are going to sort. We've found some flat carbs that will fit under the normal bonnet. But that's money, time and effort, and there's other things in here that need work and time and money. So, for the time being, it's good. And if you come over here, you'll see the really cool thing, which is it's had its door handles removed. Now, James particularly hates this feature. I think it's cool. You can see thus where we used to have a door handle, just there, being wonderfully covered up. Now to open the car, you press this natty little button here, and you can get into the car. That's cool. Not so cool is they've been deleted on the inside as well, which means getting out of the car, there is a button on the dash to press to get out of the car. The interior is hideous. As you can see, it's mostly carpet. It's not very nice. The actual conversion and the dash is actually quite tasteful. We like that. We don't like it being just horrible, horrible carpet that's not very well fitted. But yeah, that's all part of the plan to do it. Oh, and the other thing it started doing is losing its trim across here because it doesn't want that. And the windscreen has got a little bulge here because it's not quite proud. So the windscreen has to come out and be refitted. There's a long list of things on this car that need to be sorted. So here is the Rover V8, which is 3.5 litres, and that replaces the Lotus engine, which was half the cylinders and about half the capacity. It's a 2-litre engine and was a much more high revving unit, but it produced about the same amount of power as this does. Obviously, this is a lot more torquey, and it sounds nicer, but all in all, it's a swap that hasn't really achieved anything. Apart from it's a V8, and we can go, V8s are cool. So, it's a bit weird. There are lots of things on this that aren't quite how they should be. Now, what we'd really want to do is we want to drive a proper Elite and see how this thing measures up. Because we don't think it rides quite right. It's a bit hard, a bit bumpy, and basically feels a lot of the times like it's hitting the stops and the suspension. It has a lot of weird noises, and it has one very, very, very good noise. So, V8s are fun. To be honest, it handles quite nicely. It drives really, really nice into curves, and it feels like a Lotus, in my opinion anyway. I think James looking at me will look at despair right now. It's quite nice. Obviously, it's an older car, the running gear is old, the brakes, they're there. They are indeed there. They don't really do much, especially when it's cold. The gearbox is the worst thing about the car. It is a really, really, really bad gearbox. It doesn't self-locate anymore. The gates are really wide, and the distance behind them are even wider. It's just, once you've figured it out and you've driven it for a bit, and you kind of worked out where they are, it's a lot easier to drive, but getting into it to start off with, it's unpleasant. Recently, we've had the carbs done, and so the cabin no longer smells like petrol. This is a great advantage. Windscreen wiper kind of works, that's a good start. Yeah, as I said before, this is a car that I've always wanted to own. Lots of people look at the Elite, and especially the back end, the very flat, kind of estate-ish back end, and kind of turn their noses up at it a little bit, whereas I've always thought it's just so cool. It's the vision of what the future was going to look like in the 70s. It's that kind of beautiful retro future look. So what's next for this? Well, we've got a lot of work to do on it. I really would love to take it out and take it to shows, take it to some meets with other Lotus owners, particularly to get it alongside a regular normal Elite and see how they look side by side and just see what people think of it, because it is quite different. So if we're lucky, maybe this year, if not the year after. It's going to need a lot of love. The bodywork, whilst mostly there, it's fiberglass, it's cracking in quite a few places, so it's going to need extensive repairs, and it will need a repaint after that. And all of this lot needs to be redone with a material that isn't carpet. So that's a little bit of an introduction into my mighty V8 Lotus Elite. Your thoughts, we'd love to hear them. If anyone knows of anything similar, we'd love to hear about that as well. And yeah, let us know what you reckon about it, because I think it's cool, and I imagine there's a couple of people out there who think, what on earth is it? Oh my god, what have you done? So until next time, guys, thanks for watching, subscribe, and we'll see you with hopefully something a bit more reliable and less likely to break than this.